Hello guys, today I am going to be using and trying out this Dollar and Rowley sketchbook that I got from Walmart. And now I've had one of these in the past when I was a kid, and I do know for a fact, like, it is kind of cheap, but I'm going to try it out. I am going to be creating a character using my random mug method where I draw different things out to create a random character. I did do some warm-up sketches here just to kind of try to remember how the paper felt. It is really, really nice for graphite. This is what I was using, but I am going to sketch my piece in a Prismacolor Col-Erase colored pencil in the shade Rose because I don't want to ink in this because I do know that it's very absorbent. It likes to absorb things. So I didn't want to ink and then have to wait forever and ever and ever for the inking to dry before I can color it. And I'm going to be using my Copics just because this is my preferred medium of choice. And I just want to see how it reacts in this book. And so you can see it too. And, learn to see what works for you. Have some cheap alternatives to some expensive sketchbooks. So the paper is a bit of an off-white. It does have some texture to it. And like I said, I do know for a fact it is very absorbent. So I am going to draw these. Well, draw them as in pull my genre and skin color and hair color and all that stuff. And then we're gonna get started. Let's go. So I do start now by, I start with genre and time period. I put all the little pieces of paper with the prompts on it and draw one. And I draw fantasy, which is my favorite. It was a little vague for today. I wasn't really feeling super creative, so I was a little disappointed with something more vague. For skin color, it is, E50, which is eggshell, I think. The skin colors are just filled with Copic colors of mine. The hair is short, straight, and pulled up. And then hair color, I like to draw two in case I want to do like multicolored hair. So this one I drew brown and then pink. And for accessories, I drew eye patch. And I like to draw two of these as well in case I want to add something extra. And this one, I drew a sidekick. And like I said, I wasn't feeling very productive, so I threw it back in the mug and moved on. So I write everything down, and then I do a little bit of something different here than I usually do is I go in and I start just sketching, just, kind of thumbnailing maybe a pose. And I did kind of like the first pose I drew, a little very fantasy, kind of floaty. And I always like it. I think it's kind of fun when there are characters who they're like they're like normal sized, whatever, not particularly muscular, then they have gigantic weapons and they just hold them so effortlessly as if they weigh nothing, that happens in anime a lot and I think that's funny. So I drew like her holding a sword and a shield. I do ditch the shield later. I don't know, I just didn't feel like drawing it. I was feeling kind of lazy. And because the drawing was a little small there, I do kind of a little bit of a close-up on her face. And not gonna lie, she doesn't really turn out like as much like the thumbnails as I wanted. I just felt, I don't know if it was me, I was feeling a bit uncreative, but I had warmed up a bit, so I was feeling confident in my sketching abilities. I don't know what it was about this sketchbook and the paper, but I hated sketching with this pencil. Sketching in these books with like this kind of paper with graphite, I love it. I really do. Like, it's fun. Everything does kind of turn out a bit darker, so you just have to kind of be prepared for that. But you can erase out lighter spots, or because it's just a bit of an off-white, you can use like a white gel pen and really then bring out highlights. But using this pencil in this book was not fun. I had to sharpen it so many times because I just felt like the paper was eating this pencil. So, and I do one more little thumbnail I just wanted to nail an outfit down. I did contemplate doing like a jacket kind of thing, like, I like really kind of sharp looking shoulders. So I debated that, and I ended up settling on a dress, mostly because of the pose. I liked how the legs appeared to be together so you could really see the, like, I wanted a dress that kind of formed to her hips and stuff. I thought it was just very attractive to me. I liked that look. So you see here, you can see I was debating a cropped jacket, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided to do a dress, though, still with the strong shoulders and the higher neckline, but with big puffy sleeves and a little bit form-fitting all the way down. And I like the fun kind of detail of like seams down the front. I don't know. Just, I like that. Something I like very much so. Weird. And then I did add a bit of a train to it out the back. I do end up ditching the train later because the pose that she was in, I just felt like it would kind of clutter because it would have to hang kind of funny, and she was kind of, you know, posed very magically floaty. So yeah, the train just didn't quite work. And then I did struggle a bit to kind of replicate the looseness of the sketch that I first initially started with. So it didn't turn out as nice as the first one was. And I noticed that, so this pencil is a Col-Erase colored pencil by Prismacolor. And now, even though it's supposed to erase, it doesn't erase as nicely as graphite pencils, but it still usually erases pretty well on other paper. It didn't erase for shit on this paper, and nothing really does. It's very, this is a nice sketchbook if you don't want to focus on perfecting things, but just getting things onto the paper, because it feels really nice, like I said, to sketch in graphite. It felt good. Like I don't know, I enjoyed it. And I have had one of these in the past, like I said, and I almost exclusively used it for graphite sketching, but using this pencil here, not fun. And here I go to show you how just dark it is on, even when I try to press lightly, it just, compared to a piece of cardstock, it just so dark. Yeah, no, I was getting frustrated and unhappy with this particular pencil, and here I thought I was doing myself a favor by using a colored pencil so that way I wouldn't have to ink it. I do think I will give this try again, maybe on a little bit more of a better day creatively. I might feel happier with what I'm creating, and I think I will ink it, because I do remember inking in these journals in the past. I didn't have markers then, so I didn't color with markers, but I would sketch something and then ink it. So I do think I will try this again, and I will give it not use this stupid pencil in this stupid book. But, and then the weirdest thing, I like drawing swords. Something I cannot do, draw a right angle. What does a sword have with its hilt? A right angle. So here I am trying to use a not straight piece of paper to try to figure out. Anyway, I think I ended up just saying fuck it and just rolling with what I had. I said it looks close enough. Done. So, and I drew her big ass sword. My favorite part. I think though the thing that also really threw me for my why I didn't feel super attached to this piece was I did not like what I drew for hair. I drew short and straight and up. Now, short hair, I don't mind drawing, but I don't like drawing short hair pulled up. And I especially don't like drawing straight hair pulled up, because if it was curly hair, I could have put it in like a little ponytail or something and had curls coming around to frame her face. So then the hairstyle I chose just wasn't flattering at all whatsoever. It's like a little boy who needs to go, who's like a couple weeks past a haircut. Like, that's what it reminded me of. So yeah, I just was not good. It was a little fun to draw an eye patch. I have been meaning to draw somebody with an eye patch for a while, and so I thought it was kind of funny then that I was just thinking about eye patches the other day. You know, I don't know if I know it's not just me, but sometimes it feels like it's just me who likes to torture your characters just a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? One of my characters, one of these bitches needs an eye patch. Somebody needs to have some kind of trauma. And so I was just thinking the other day about having something happen to one of my characters and they needed an eye patch, and then here I go and I draw eye patch for like this random character's accessory. I just thought that was kind of funny. Really ironic how life works sometimes. And the hair did look decent in the sketch, and I think that's just because I did give it a little more life, and I just did not replicate that then when I went to color it, because I knew this paper would not hold a lot of ink very well. I knew it would absorb a lot, but I wasn't sure how it would handle, so I actually just do mostly flat coloring when I do move into coloring. And so I really do, I should have tried coloring the hair differently so that way you could get some of that life in it, but I didn't. I just kind of flicked the brown around and called it a day, so it did really end up looking like a helmet of hair. And like I said, I'm going to give this another shot, and I'm going to choose a piece maybe that, either a character that is pre-existing, and I'm going to make sure it's on a better day creatively, and I'm really going to give it my all, you know? I'm going to try more blending. I'm going to ink it. I'm going to really try to put so much more effort into this piece. And it's not that I didn't put effort into this piece. I think I just didn't put enough. It was one of those days where I thought it looked decent in the moment and I called it a day, when I really probably should have pushed myself a little bit harder to actually make it something I was proud of. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but sometimes I feel like I do get discouraged a little bit with my skill level, and instead of trying harder and pushing myself, I decide to back off and, I'm not going to do anything today then. And that is not how one improves, especially when this is something that I love doing so much. And I'm past the point now, I'm not a child. Like, as you grow older and just understand the world, if you're drawing, you just learn, you just kind of, notice more about the world, which having that eye for things then, you're just realizing that things exist in a 3D space, whatever, it really does elevate your art very fast. And then once you're an adult or you reach a certain point, you gotta plateau. And at that point, if you want to get better, you need to push yourself. You need to practice. You need to, even on a bad day, make sure you're putting 100% into it. And that's something I struggle with as an artist and as a person, is when it gets hard, how do you know when to push? So that is something I definitely feel like, now that it's December, well, almost December, I've been thinking about. I'm a big fan of New Year's and setting goals and meeting goals. I love that feeling of a fresh start. So I definitely feel like that'll be one of my 2022 goals, is to learn to push myself. And for the color scheme for this, I was feeling kind of a red, but I wasn't sure I wanted to go like a blood red kind of color. So I went with this reddish orange, which I love that color. If you didn't know, orange is my favorite color. And a red orange, I don't know, something about a red orange is just very appealing to me. And I used kind of a golden orange as well, two colors I very much enjoy. And see, the paper, the color lays down very nice, and it did blend in the face very nice. I was impressed. Depending on how juicy your marker is, though, you do need to keep in mind that it will kind of feather out a little bit. So your color will spread a bit more from where you put it. And I mean, I think if you can plan for that, that's fine. Because I didn't notice it too much with the light orange, and I thought it looked great. Or the skin. The hair did feather out a little bit, and so did the grays. But overall, though, I was very happy with how the paper reacted with the Copics. I was impressed. And it did bleed through a little bit, but the sketchbook is cheap enough that, you know, if you're going to use marker in it, you know, every other page it kind of thing, or, you know, Copic picture, use the paper where it bled as a sketch page, Copic picture, whatever, you know. I love using cheap products. I don't know, something about using something that isn't expensive makes me just really feel like I can let loose and have more fun than if I know I'm using an expensive sketchbook, expensive paper. I feel like what I create needs to be worthy of that paper. Whereas in something that cost me a couple bucks at my local Walmart, man, you know, I was able to just have fun with it, you know. I didn't feel like this needed to be the best piece I ever created because, like I said, this was a couple bucks at my local Walmart. And I will tag it, the sketchbook, if I can find this exact size, I'll tag one similar to it in the description if you want to pick one up. Because like I said, perfect for graphite, and I did not mind it for Copic. And I will make another one of these. So if you're interested in that, and you want to see me do this again with 110 effort, please like this video and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And I do have an Etsy store where I sell prints and stickers, and it is running a sale right now through December 1st. So go check it out. It's also linked in the description. So is my Instagram, where I post more artwork than what I post here. So I hope you have a fantastic day and you stay safe. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you got this far, fantastic for you. I love you. Bye.